Prayers up, blessings up, man. So, I want to talk about sex on this video, right? If you like this video, I want you to like it, send it to somebody, especially like someone that's in their teens, 20s, that's getting into relationships and starting to get into sex and all of that, because it's just on my spirit to talk about this. So, I want to ask y'all a question, right? And just think about the answer in your mind. I do this on lives every once in a while, but if you had to pick your favorite thing about sex, what would it be? Just think about it. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds. All right, so mine used to be like the way it felt. I used to love the way it felt. I used to like, the orgasm. You know what I'm saying? It was a feeling thing for me. And when I ask people on live, it's been times where I've had over 1,000 people on the lives and I've asked this question. Every single time I ask the question, the answers are always like, I like the connection, the intimacy, I like the feeling, I like the orgasm, I like head, I like, you know what I mean? It'd be a bunch of those type of answers. And this is the epiphany that I had probably a couple years ago now. It was recent. I'm 41. This is a recent epiphany. You feel me? I realized that I believe I was programmed into looking at sex as the best thing about it being physical, of the feeling of it. You know what I mean? And also to be aware, look, you can get a disease and be careful because you can get someone pregnant. But now I'm realizing by far the best thing about sex is 2 people can get together and make a child. And it blew my mind when I thought about that. Like, I really thought about it like this. Our bodies are incredible. For example, our body contains over 100 trillion individual working cells. Now they can go in there with nanotechnology and look at the cell and see the waves coming from the cell, just like how they can see waves coming from a human aura. And each cell have the identical waves that come off our brain waves when we think. So now they're theorizing that each cell is as intelligent as us. And our body contains over 100 trillion of them. And then each cell contains over 100 trillion atoms. Think about that. That's crazy. So our body is the way that it is. Most people don't even think about how incredible our body is and how big of a gift our body is. I'll speak for myself. I wasn't thinking about it growing up. I was just thinking about life and trying to get by, and you know what I mean? Like, just trying to get by in life for real. But so like, 2 people can get together, have sex, and create another person that's composed of over 100 trillion individual working cells in a body that's made in perfect order. That's amazing. And then each person has a soul within the body. I have 5 children. Me and my wife have 5 children. All of them got their own personalities. All of them are beyond a blessing. You get what I'm saying? But see, I was out here running around when it came to sex. I was out here running around having sex. In my old life, I wanted to be a player. I wanted to have multiple women. That was the thing that fascinated me. Like, I watched pornography and flicks, and I used to want to be good at sex. And you know what I mean? I worked my way towards all that growing up. You know what I'm saying? And like, I spent too much time thinking down that path, and where it led me to was having sex and then hoping that I didn't get her pregnant, or hoping I didn't get an STD after the sex. A lot of the times I had sex, that was my thought process, especially like if it was unprotected. I was praying. I was praying, please no baby. But see, I was thinking backwards. Making life is the most beautiful thing about sex. If I would have been programmed like sex education in school, I'm 41. I remember they were showing us pictures of like genitals with warts on it and pus coming out of it, and vaginas that had all type of ooze all over. They were showing us nasty gross pictures. They had me spooked, man. And then around that time, AIDS was out. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was all about make sure you wear protection. It was almost programming me not to want to have kids. But at the same time, it was the programming from movies and then when flicks came out on the internet and all that, it was all that programming to make me want to have sex, but also not want to have no kids and not want to get a disease. So the point what I'm trying to make is, I wish that the programming would have been different. I wish the programming would have been encouraging us to see the beauty of making life and the responsibility and the blessing of it and how amazing it is, and the beauty of a family and the family structure and what that looks like and how powerful it is, and how nations are composed of families, and the strong families are who represent the nation. That's what it is. The most powerful groups of people on the planet are families, powerful families. This go all the way back to ancient times where you trace your bloodline. So this is what I'm saying. We was programmed out of that reality and into a facade reality with sex. And so this is the advice that I wanted to give on this video. Especially because I can speak more towards young men and men that are lustful like how I used to be. I'm speaking to that demographic, and also to younger women, for you could be aware of what I think is the wisest thing to look for in a man. So here's the thing. I think it's the smartest thing to do when you're coming through your teens and 20s to spend all your time developing a skill set or skill sets that is going to allow you to provide for yourself to the point where you could get a house, get a car, be saving your money up, put 10% of your money up, use that money and invest it, or more, 20, 30%, invest the money, learn the money game. There's a lot of information about money. I'm gonna get more into that type of content in the next few years because I'm close to being a millionaire. Once I hit that and I stay consistent with that and I can really explain finances from that perspective, I'll be speaking on finances. But until then, there's a lot of people out here that's there and their information is out here. You could pay for it and they got free information as well. So what I'm saying is learn the money game and learn how to provide for yourself before you even start thinking about sex. I'm not saying don't think about sex, but what I'm saying is before you really spending time to think about how to get a girl, take her out, and to try to seduce her and have sex, but you haven't figured out how to provide for yourself, that's a backwards order. It used to be traditions that we had where we had to prove ourselves as men before we could even earn the right to have sex. But that's not even how it is anymore. Now it's all about getting fresh and running game. I ain't gonna say it's all about that, but for a lot of us, that's what it is. It's like we get out of high school, we go get a job. When we get a job, we getting around girls. We want to go out, we want to meet girls, and then on our spare time, we want to get with girls and we trying to have sex. But most of us as men, we don't even know how to provide for ourselves. So when we do mess up, most of the time it's a mess up and she get pregnant, we can't even provide for her. And now the mom is out here working when really she could just be taking care of the child. It's a full-time job taking care of children. This is what I believe. I believe it's a man's responsibility to learn how to provide for himself first and protect himself first, and then protect his loved ones. To go through that learning process of learning the communication skills, because when it comes to protection, I believe more than half the battle of real protection is understanding how to communicate well. Most of the time, violence erupts behind bad communication and not really knowing how to maneuver out here and how to actually care about the people around you and bring value to your community and gain respect from that. When you're that type of person, nobody really out here trying to do harm to you really like that. Like I'm not paranoid out here. Of course, every once in a while you got demons out here that don't like good people, but most of the time when you don't learn to be a good person and learn good communication skills, those are the times when you find yourself in violent situations. Now you feel like you got to protect your family from that type of violence when really you could have avoided it in the first place. Being aware of your surroundings. When you learn how to provide for yourself on a certain level to where you can start providing for others, you can put yourself in areas where it's very peaceful and it's very luxurious and very nice, and it's not a dangerous environment. So this is why it's important as a man to understand our roles and responsibilities and what we have to earn first. When we earn that first, right, now we can go look for our queen. At that point, it's not going to be hard. You're a catch. You're a catch now. A lot of men out here feel like women ain't respecting them enough. But at the same time, a lot of women ain't respecting men because we don't know our roles and our responsibility, what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to provide and protect and make everybody in our environment feel safe, man. That's a man's role. When you master that, now you have earned the right to have sex. And now when you're having sex, you should be picking someone that you want to make life with. That should be the goal. My brothers and sisters, I hope this made sense. Until the next time, man. Prayers up, blessings up.